This Excel demonstration has to do with measures of central tendency. So the workbook that you want to pull up to do this demonstration is Excel demonstration store A and B data. So this, remember, is the prices of 30 randomly selected items at store A and 30 randomly selected items at store B. So I'm going to take this, and the first thing that I want to do is I want to get rid of that accounting format at the top, and I'm just going to take it back to 0 to general, and we can look at the data at those values, and we know that they have to do with money, and we can interpret that when we get down to the end once we calculate the mean, the median, and the mode. The next thing that I want to do is let's insert some columns in between the two stores just to give us some space to work. So I'm highlighting 3 columns, I'm right clicking, and I'm clicking on insert. So now I've got a few extra columns in between. I'm going to come all the way down here, and right here I'm going to say mean, median, mode. Then I'm going to highlight these 3, right click, copy, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to paste those very same labels. Now the first one we're going to calculate is we're going to calculate the mean. So remember, when we use the word mean, that's the arithmetic mean. It's interesting, in Excel there isn't a command that's just labeled mean. They use the word average. So they use average for the function. So we're going to come up here, we're going to type in average, click go, and average is the very first thing on selecting the function. I'm going to say OK, and then I have to give the range. So I'm coming all the way up here to the top, and I'm going to highlight the first item all the way down to the 30th item. OK. And we'll wait until we get the mean, the median, and the mode, and then we'll talk about what we want to do as far as the rounding is concerned. So let's just do the calculations first. The second one that we want to do is we want to do median. So back up to the function list. Over, we're going to type in median. Go. Very first one. OK. And then again, I've got to highlight all 30 pieces of data. So starting up here, I'm going to highlight them all down. Okay. So remember, when you're calculating the median can either be a member of the data set, so a member of the data set, or it can be constructed if I have to take those 2 center numbers and calculate their midpoint. So when I take the 2 center numbers, I add those 2 together and divide by 2, and that finds the midpoint between the 2 center numbers. So in our case, 4.99, or in the interpretation of the problem, $4.99. The last one that we want to do is we want to talk about mode. So I'm going to come over here, we're going to click on the function, and we're going to type in mode. We're going to see what we get, so I'm going to click go. So I get mode. The function is available, okay, so this is 2007 or earlier. It returns the most frequently occurring or repetitive value in an array or range of data. Then what happened is we've got these 2 that are below it. And so let's talk about this one first. Returns the most frequently occurring or repetitive value in an array or range of values. So notice how it has .sngl. that returns a single mode. The function will only return one mode, even if multiple values are repeated the same number of times. So that's what you're going to get if you pick mode.sngl, or just the plain mode from the old 2007 or earlier version. The one below it says mode.mult, so it's like multi-mode. So the multi-mode returns multiple modes, but it's difficult to use because you've got to highlight. So it says it returns a vertical array of the most frequently occurring or repetitive values in an array or range of data. So it's a little bit difficult to use because you've got to highlight your cells, and when you use it, you have to use Control-Shift-Enter simultaneously to try to get this array to come back out, giving you those multiple modes. So it's probably easier. So a lot of times it's easier just to sort our data and look for the mode or modes ourselves. So that's what we're going to do in this demonstration. So I'm going to click cancel. So why don't we see what the calculator thinks or what the Excel thinks the mode is, and then we'll look. So let's just do a comparison. So I'm going to do mode singular. We'll pick OK. And then I'm going to come over here. So this will be a good demonstration. We'll check. So I'm going to highlight these. I'm going to come all the way down to the end. And I'm going to pick OK. So it thinks the mode is also $4.99. So let's sort it, and let's look, and let's see what we decide by sorting the data. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to highlight everything. I'm going up into the data, and remember our sort and filter was over here. So over to the right, picking sort and filter. So we're going to sort from smallest to largest. Now let's look and let's see if we agree with the $4.99. So there's two $1.99s, two $3.39, $4.99, $4.99, $4.99, $4.99. So 1, 2, 3, 6, $4.99. So let's see if we have anything bigger than 6. So two $5.99, two $6.99. So it looks like we can agree with Excel's mode of $4.99. So now let's talk about what we're going to put as far as the labels are concerned. In the rounding rules, as far as what we've been saying, is the rounding should be one more than the original data. So we're going to take this and we're going to go one more than the original data on this mean. So that's what we would give for the mean. Knowing that it's in dollars, we'd probably, say approximately $5, but our exact answer would be $5.003. In this next one, in the median and the mode, they are members of the data set, so we're going to say $4.99. There's no rounding involved in those two. Let's do store B just for some additional practice. So we're going to come over here and let's do exactly the same things for store B. So we're going to pick the mean. So remember that's average. So equal average, parenthesis, pick our data values. This one starts at 99 cents. Pick up all 30 data values, all 30 items. Then the median. So remember, median is the word median. So median. And it doesn't matter if I highlight from bottom to top or top to bottom. We just want this array of numbers. So all 30 pieces of data. then the mode. So let's do Excel's mode, and then we will calculate Excel's single mode, and then we'll sort and we'll look at it ourselves. So mode.sngl. Sorry. Let me try that again. Goop that up. So let me come in here and let me fix it. I'm typing inside the formula. I'm picking back up my values. I'm going all the way from the low up to the high. I think I took my finger off my left mouse button. $3.99. So let's sort the data and see if we agree with the single mode. So I'm going to highlight this data, all 30 pieces. I'm going over to pick the sort, smallest to largest. Continue with the current selection, sort. Okay, so let's look through it. 279 twice, 319 twice, 399 three times. So far that's the most frequently occurring number. 469, 499, 649 twice. And so we're going to agree that 399 is the most frequently occurring number, and it occurs 3 times. So I'm going to leave that mode. We checked it by sorting. So we used the single mode and then we checked it and sorted it. So let's do our rounding as far as the values are concerned. 3 decimal places. So $4.433. So $4.433. So that's going to be our mean. We would, in layman's term, we would interpret that as $4.43. The median is $3.89, and the mode is $3.99. So what happened with the median is it ended up being constructed between this 379 and this 399. So there's our 2 center numbers. So it said 379, oops, 379 plus 399 divided by 2, 389. So that's where that number came from. It was constructed, but when it was constructed, it didn't contribute any more decimal places. And so it's exactly $3.89. Now we have the mean, the median, and mode for both of our data sets, interpreted like we're supposed to for our rounding rules. And otherwise, we would say approximately $5 for the mean and approximately $4.43 for the mean.